Hello and welcome back to my channel. Grab a coffee and let's chat about living with non-minimalist. When you are minimalist. I started this journey around 2.5 years ago when I started really decluttering my life. I was halving my possession, all my possessions. I started with my clothes, with kitchen utensils, bathroom stuff, and my husband wasn't on board at first. Maybe he didn't mind me reducing my clothes possession at all, because obviously they are mine. So he said nothing. But when I started decluttering our kitchen, it wasn't in this flat, it was in our previous rented flat. When he saw that I'm giving away blender, some cups, some plates or bowls, wherever I was, decluttering, and I was giving away, then he was, just questioning, don't you need that for something? And when I was explaining to him that we have double, because we did have 2 blenders, so he said, okay, that's, you are cooking, you are making meals, so that's okay. If it's okay with you, then that's fine. So he was really on board with decluttering, with my decluttering, kind of what I didn't want in our flat anymore, like in our kitchen, bathroom. But when I asked him to consider decluttering his own possessions, he said that it's his, so he won't do this. And we were really struggling with our previous flat with the space, but this flat is even smaller, 20 square meters smaller. So in previous flat we had just one wardrobe for 2 of us. And because we had so many clothes, we bought another wardrobe. It was standard size wardrobe. It wasn't very big. I think it was maybe 100 or maybe 120 centimeters long, the first one. And I bought second wardrobe, which is right now in our son's bedroom. And that was for 2 of us. And it was full. We have another like a standing shelving unit, and we have kind of like pigeon holes in the wall, full of clothes, and the clothes were everywhere. So, but he didn't agree to declutter. And actually, when we were moving to this flat over 2 years ago, I decluttered even more my stuff. So I said, I don't want to pay for moving my stuff, my rubbish, to be honest. So I decluttered even more, but he didn't touch his clothes, to be honest. And because this flat is smaller, we have very small bedrooms. Let's say comparing to the bedrooms probably you see on YouTube or Instagram, we have just 11 square meters bedroom. So we had to buy really small wardrobes. And you've seen my wardrobe on my wardrobe decluttering and showing my wardrobe. So each of us has 60 centimeters wide wardrobe, which is quite small, and we have 3 small drawers each. So when I tried to fit his clothes after moving houses, I couldn't. And that was the first wake-up call I think for him as well, that he has to decide what has to go, and to decide what clothes he really likes, what he really loves, and he feels comfortable with. And he let me take those clothes to donation center, or to just post on marketplace for free, to take for people to take for free. But after that first declutter, over 2 years ago. Nothing really progressed in his wardrobe, so he's not having any less. Obviously, when his kind of like socks, when they are completely worn out, he declutters them, but he has over 30 t-shirts, and he is taking only, I think maybe 7 his favorites, and because I'm doing the washing, so I know what he's wearing, and all the time I'm washing the same t-shirts, so it means over 20 t-shirts are not used completely. So every now and again I ask him to consider decluttering, and he said that he says that he will maybe use them for something else, so he's not really decluttering. But then at first, I have this minimalist mindset that I have enough and I even have more and I can declutter, but I cannot force this mindset on anyone else. So even if I really want, so I can, be angry with him, shout at him and ask nicely or beg him, it won't help. You can only try to change someone by being an example. So those 2 years, when he sees that I'm decluttering, that I'm having less, we have more space, and he starts to think that, not even a week ago, he told me that when he was trying to make an outfit for because he changed jobs, so he wanted to make an outfit for that first face-to-face meeting with his new boss. And I probably at some point, maybe I will show his wardrobe, has I think 30 shirts, like an office, nice shirts, but he was for hours trying outfits, and at the end he was saying, I have nothing to wear. The thing is, he was buying, those shirts are really old, I have to admit, so he's haven't bought anything for work for years, so that's actually perfect for me, because we're not dealing with more stuff. But the shirts he was buying in the past are not kind of perfect, they are not, he was buying them out of rush, or maybe they were cheaper. So after this display, when he was trying all these clothes, he said that he has enough. He wants to declutter all of his stuff and buy only 2 or 3 outfits that he really loves. He looks very good in them. So you see, I don't have to force anything on him. At some point, people around you are coming to some conclusions when they leave that with that other person who is minimalist, or maybe aspiring minimalist. So at some point, everybody changes a little, just because you're living with that person. So I'm not forcing, I'm angry at him at times, especially when I have to do laundry and I see the amount of clothes we are going through, because when you have a lot of t-shirts, for example, then you don't respect that work somebody puts in the washing, because you have another t-shirt. So you made a little stain on your t-shirt, okay, take it off, take another one. And sometimes he's using 2 t-shirts per day. So when you have less, I think you are respecting your clothes more. So not only you protecting your clothes, like maybe wearing apron when cooking, but also when you have that little stain somewhere, you try to just wash that spot, only that little part, instead of washing your whole t-shirts again. Washing also destroys the clothes. And that way, if you have less, maybe you have 7 t-shirts and the washing is not being done this week, maybe you will just wash a little spot you made. And so for me, living with a non-minimalist is difficult at times. I think we are on a different part of the journeys. I'm a bit further away from him with my minimalist, and he's just kind of starting realizing lately that having less is actually making your life simpler, less complicated, and more enjoyable, because you can focus on other things. Even with that outfit trying, he lost 2 hours on trying his outfit instead of grabbing just outfit which you know is perfect fit, just grabbing that and carry on, watch a movie. So he lost that time. I think he's starting realizing that minimalist can actually make your life easier. But I don't want to force him on anything, and the same with my son. I think he has even more minimalist and sustainable mindset than me, because he wants to actually repair and save everything he's got. He has very, very old socks which he's only wearing like after the shower. He's in his pajamas and he has kind of like a fluffy socks, and I bought them when he was 2, so you can imagine the size, and he's nearly 9 now. So his feet is twice or even more bigger than the feet of 2-year-old, but he kind of stretched them out, and now they are completely destroyed. They have holes which I try to repair, and I really want them gone. But he's saying, no mommy, you can repair them again, and I want them, I want to keep them. You don't have to buy. So you see, he's even more minimalistic than me. He doesn't want any new items to be coming his way. He wants the items he has, to work. So I think if you are a minimalist, don't force anyone else around you to be. And I made that mistake ages ago. I wasn't even, I wouldn't even call myself minimalist at the time, but I knew that I was quite organized person, I think. So many years ago, I helped one person, actually few people, but that person has really big problem with hoarding. If you want to scale from 1 to 5, like in hoarding, then I would say that person was 4. So I helped that person, and we cleared her space completely. It was absolutely livable. It was actually amazing. But because that change didn't came from inside, it was kind of forced by me helping, like physically removing the layers of possessions. And because it wasn't from inside, the problem came back almost straight away. I was gone for a month or maybe 2. Whole space was cluttered. So the change must come from within, not from other people like forcing you or convincing you. It might help for a second, for a few moments, but you have to realize what you want. Like, it must be your own decision from inside, not force from outside factors. So if you are minimalist, don't force it on anyone. Once people will enjoy the space you made around yourself, they will maybe follow your example, but never force anyone to be minimalist or stop hoarding. It's more complicated than that. You cannot force. I hope that you like this video. If you have any thoughts about living with non-minimalist ones while you are in minimalist, leave me a comment down below. Share your journey, and consider subscribing if you're not already, and see you next time. Bye.